Right, yet another in the section of the little Reader's Rides. Today, quite a simple ride. We're going up to H Diner, which many people in Reading, and indeed Oxford, would treat as a bit of a destination. Now there is a slightly alternative route. Obviously, as we come down this hill here, we actually join the Oxford Road, but that's the normal route and I'm not going to bother going down that way. Instead we'll go up through Caversham, which involves a little bit of traffic beforehand, but then so does the Oxford Road, or A329. So essentially we're just going to cross over the Thames and go straight up the Woodcote Road in order to get there. We've got some glorious weather, and Storm Amy has departed the shores, I think, completely, and this is the aftermath, which is all very pleasant for October the 5th? Yeah, 5th I think. So across here, Caversham Bridge, and take the A4074, which is the Oxford/Woodcote Road. The old Caversham Priory, maybe? I don't know. It's a church, big church anyway. Never been in it, but I'm told it's worth a visit. And finally we break out of Reading to Oxfordshire. And what they call the Chilterns. Now this little stretch of road in my youth was quite infamous, and I would add that they've completely reworked it and smoothed out some of the bends, but there were, and it was renowned for being the 13 Bends of Death, a very inglorious title. Basically there were all sorts of problems up here with accidents and what have you, and fatalities obviously. So they spent a lot of money reworking it 20-30 years ago. I don't think it's quite so notorious now, but it was for a time quite nasty. I think down this past here is a bit more of a reworking, but it's still got a 50 limit, so it's passable as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, there were some nasty little bends in amongst this lot here somewhere. Obviously cars were sliding off into trees, and unlike today's cars, they were not very robust, let's say. So everybody used to have a big downer on going down 13 Bends of Death, which of course made them all the more appealing to us youngsters. Cane End. Don't think it's much of a village. There used to be a very successful pub here. I don't know whether it's still a pub. It looks like it is. It used to be very popular for a time, just with the no, I don't see a pub there anymore. Houses. Yeah, I thought it went. There are other pubs just down in the village there towards Henley. So my intention will be to wander up, I'm caught in dreadful traffic here, but wander ourselves up to H Cafe if it's open. I don't know if it's open on Mondays. We'll have a quick cup of tea and then we'll come back another alternative route. For people in Reading, they can puzzle over that one. I'll have a little bit of a take. Come to the sort of Wallingford interchange, whatever you call it, and it's I think I recently learned that William the Conqueror, having defeated Harold, was barred entry to London by the bridges up there and had to go all the way to Wallingford to cross the Thames. Obviously back in those times crossing the Thames was not so given as it is today. Come on. To Airfield, which is to our right. Mostly a grass airstrip. Bit of training now, I think. Did used to have the Queen's flight of helicopters out of there, and the Chinooks still come and play sometimes. That's RAF Benson. Just up here is the village of Benson. There is a very nice path on the river which is to our left. Not generally frequented too much by bikers, but they are sometimes good to go there because it's a better class of cafe, let's say. Here is the cafe. I think it's still a cafe. Yeah, the water something. And some little holiday homes as well. But so they're starting to gentrify the place a bit with these new places. Benson was just a bit of a villagey thing with more of an RAF sort of feel to it. But obviously as time's gone on, they've gone up market, one would say. Shillingford, again a little scrappy place. There's a pretty bridge and a hotel further to our left. Some very nice little cottages. The rest of it is a bit some nice little villages down there, but slowly again going up market. But those that travel this road, you've got to be careful. There are, you get a bit keen here for the purposes of speed trapping here. And to our left is Dorchester, not the Dorset one, but the Dorchester on Thames. There is a museum and an abbey down there. I've never actually found it. Not so, I've only whizzed down there once or twice just to look. guessing. It's got, again, some importance historically. This road has been completely refurbished. I can smell it, I can see it, I can feel it. Come up now to Stadhampton, which is where our H Diner is, and I believe there's an M&P there, and I may be wrong here, but I picked up a note to say that something on the website, one of these web things, that said they were closing down. Funny shop there, buy all sorts of wonderful things. No, it's Infinity, it's not M&P. Where do we want to go? Let's go over there. Part where the jolly lads are. Right, so we leave H Diner. Now we're going to take Abingdon Road. Through the little village of Burcop. You'll watch yourself here, 30 limit. And I've taken off my jumper and relinquished my wintry gloves from Vented gloves because it is plenty warm. We're heading towards the Whittams, through the traffic lights and then left on the second set. Very popular little place, I think, for prettiness. Across the Thames on this little bridge here. Oh, big holes in the road, just to get out of the way of those. Don't want that. The Thames start to lose its busyness up here. The bigger boats can't get up this far, I guess. Sheffham Brewer Barley Mow. The Barley Mow. Sheffham Brewer, I think, of some sort of sensibly priced people, I think. Oh, yeah, we are recording. I was wondering if it was recording. Long Whittenham. You can see we do get some floods here, but the walkway up there, the River Thames does flood up here. Mostly because they hold it back further down, I guess. Yeah. Go this way to Wallingford. Welcome Stockwell. And I actually obviously missed a turning, didn't I? I know. Wallingford Didcot. Good Didcot. So Didcot power station over there, they knocked down the big chimneys. Ah, here we go, left here. Tight. They knocked down the big chimneys and they seem to have replaced them with some new chimneys. I guess it's all gas now. And this is an indication, I guess, of where all your rail fares go. They built a lot of bridges, huge amount of bridges, so they keep this electrification in. This used to be a little humpback one way. I can get traffic lights. Yes. Right, South Moulton, which confuses me, but so there is a pub in South Moulton, I'm sure. We've got no traffic, so I don't need to indicate, but we'll check. Yeah, the Crown. Very nice pub, but community owned. They've saved it, but of course saving it is one thing, running it's another. The Crown, there it is. I never realised we were so close to just coming out of the end of the road. The Didcot. Then we go to the left here to Cholsey, Wallingford. You can go down that way, pick up the Blueberry Road. As I say, we're running just parallel to the A329 really, for all the villages. Not a fast run, obviously, and this is mercilessly bumpy, this road. Oh, doesn't help when someone's riding a horse. You can only do so much to mitigate the noise. Clutch in. Give it lots of time. Cross the railway again. Very tempting to overtake, but I know this far out the saddle, this bloody road. Choice, Banquet. And over, very pleasant up there, isn't it? Bit of a view. Wouldn't think you're a few miles from Reading. Nice few bendy bits as well. Right from these farm buildings which are sort of straight ahead at 2 o'clock, there's a church, and I'm told that is the church where Agatha Christie was buried. Don't blame me if it's not the case, but that's what I've been told. And then to Cholsey. Again, one of those places that's not on the main road particularly, so quite some pretty places. Some nice old stone barns. That's a fine barn, isn't it? Manor Farm barn. church is down there. I'm not too much of a church person, so I don't know much about it. Sophia's Hump. Very well to do now. Don't know much about it, to be perfectly frank. Nice little shopping centre. Gonna cut right here and take the Blueberry turning. Oh, straight into the sun. Oh dear, oh dear. Possibly the same one. Oh, there's a few lines here. More bumpy. Another undulating road full of bumps that stay right in the middle. Right, come up here now to the Blueberry Road, which will take a left for Pangbourne and Reading. Nasty junction, very nasty. Yeah, a little bit cautious here. The Downs, it says in front of us, but the Ridgeway's around here somewhere. Yeah, really nasty. There's a car coming. Oh, he's going a long way away. We'll be away before he gets anywhere near us. Back into West Berkshire. Streatley, turning right, Rectory Road. It takes us to the Ridgeway should you want to walk. I found it a little bit boring up there. Just a gravel track in the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing there are good bits and bad bits and fast bits and slow bits. And then join the A329 back to Pangbourne. Another uncomfortable little junction. We won't bother going through Streatley, we'll go straight down through Pangbourne, simply because we end up stopping and starting through there. Lower Basildon. There is an upper, of course. Further up to our, up in the hills to our right, there's an Upper Basildon. Nicely resurfaced here, mostly because they cut a swathe. It's Basildon Park, by the way, National Trust. got swayed through the middle for services, I guess, and it just degenerated over years. It just got worse and worse. It was dangerous to cyclists, motorcyclists, even cars, and they finally relented and resurfaced this bit, which is very nicely done. So we come into Pangbourne, obviously with our river again quite visible to our left, quite wide at this point. And as I understand it, the 7 houses of sin, first one being that one, 2, that one's been refurbished, nice. This one, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally 7. I am told that one of the kings, I don't know which one, Albert, probably Albert, installed his mistresses or friends of his, you know, lady friends there. They were in easy reach of London because at that time there was of course the new railway line, and I guess he came and visited, I don't know. I think my wife and I googled it and it was the case. So as we come into Pangbourne now, as we see, across the train line again. I could go straight on here, but I'm not. I'm going to go left, 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 which is the A329 down into Reading. A bit of a dick. But obviously not really in favour of this highway code. Definitely warmer than one would expect for this time of year. The ladies are in their strappy tops.